have a good time and work hard and we'll see what happens.
And it's still amazing how well they've done. Like, I don't think anyone thought they'd break it, you know, that break America and stuff. It's really hard. Like, Take That have tried to break America and haven't.
It's all the boy bands.
A lot of people have tried it, so for them to do it, it's, you know, it's...
They never expected to be #1 in the album charts in America. They wouldn't have even dreamt that, but they've achieved so much more than any other boy band, you know.
We're really proud of it, and we're surprised that we're going to see us next time.
I'm just admiring you. Go for it.
Yeah, we're just looking forward to giving it back to the fans and show what we've been working hard at and do it live.
They're also headlining Madison Square Garden, which is phenomenal for a band that haven't even been releasing music for a year. To headline such a huge venue, which is usually reserved for the likes of Madonna or the Foo Fighters or someone really established who's released a whole body of wealth of albums.
Looked at pictures of the Beatles and to look at One Direction now, there's actually quite a few similarities. It's very clever styling because a lot of their haircuts, Louis' haircut is very similar to Paul McCartney's haircut. The blazer jackets that they wear, the two-tone blazer jackets, that's exactly what the Beatles wore. It's that very kind of boy next door, their energy's very high, they're lovely guys, they're very approachable, and that was very like the Beatles, which obviously the 20,000 streaming fan and them playing to huge arenas in America.
Being compared to the Beatles is pretty insane, pretty amazing. If you look back at the old footage, you can see the comparison, yeah, definitely. It is quite an mania, isn't it? It is mental.
I think people get annoyed when they get compared to the Beatles if they aren't One Direction fans.
It's a pretty big statement to make because the Beatles are just engraved in history as the most successful, famous, inspiring, life-changing band.
Imagine if the Beatles had Twitter. That would have been mental.
You guys bigger than the Beatles right now? No?
The One Direction journey began back in 2010, when 5 unknown schoolboys entered Britain's X Factor.
One Direction first came to my attention on the X Factor in 2010. They had captured the audience immediately.
Well, there's quite a few auditions before you even get to like the television audition stage. Nowadays with X Factor, you've got the whole 3,000 people in a big auditorium, so you've not just got to sing in front of the judges. It's a load of people.
Niall Horan, Liam Payne, Harry Styles, Zayn Malik, and Louis Tomlinson enter the competition as solo artists.
I thought they were cute. I remember the first one I met was actually Liam, and it was when we were at boot camp and we were getting ready to go in for sort of just rehearsals, and I know he was on it a few years before, didn't he? Yeah. He was really young, so I recognised him and got talking to him. He was really shy.
Liam Payne from Wolverhampton, he had been in the X Factor when he was 14 and got through to judges' houses, but Simon felt like he wasn't ready and told him to come back in 2 years' time. Liam took that on board because Simon thought it would be good for him to get his GCSEs. He seemed more relaxed in his first audition than the others because he had done it before, but he also had to prove himself. If it hadn't worked out, he had been planning on trying to get a job in his dad's factory, so it's really good that he didn't give up on his dreams.
Liam has 1 kidney, and then he's like the cutest one out of the band.
Liam Payne is very, very sensible. He's like the voice of reason in a bunch of chaos. He's always telling the guys to tone down the jokes or might not understand the rude jokes that they make until a few seconds later. And he seems like just, the most reasonable one.
We never expected to get here. It's always been our dream to be here, but we never expected it, and we're just thankful we've got this far, but we want to go further, we're going to do our best to get there. Liam's a lot more he seems a lot more older and a lot more mature than the rest of them. I think that's just his character, but he was always had quite a few long and interesting sort of chats with him, and Harry was a good laugh as well. But it's not nice to pick favourites though, because we liked all of them. But
My favourite was Liam. because we used to play the table tennis together. We always used to beat me, and I've still not beaten him. And I've released a record as well, so they're beating us to that. We can't win.
Harry Styles, the youngest member of One Direction, was entered into the X Factor by his mum.
Well, Harry Styles is from Holmes Chapel in Cheshire, and he's a cheeky chappy and he's kind of always been a bit of a ladies' man.
Harry was the little monkey, he was like a cheeky one, so...
Harry, he was in a band, the White Eskimo, before One Direction, and before he went into it, he had to do the audition by himself, and then they all got put together, but the White Eskimo is still going as a band.
Before Harry went on the X Factor, he was in a band called White Eskimo with his best mate Will Sweeney.
White Eskimo formed back in school when we were about, I think we were around year 8, so we must have been about 12, 13. Me and my friend Hayden, we he used to come over to my house because I had a drum kit and I'd been playing drums for about a year. He used to come over and we used to jam together. And so we said, we need a bass player and a singer because it's great me and you, but we got to do something with it. So, we asked Harry, we said, it would be great if you could maybe learn an instrument or something. How about the bass? And he was like, yeah, I'm sure. We found out that our friend Nick, who was in the band, played bass. We were like, well, Nick will play the bass, how about you sing? No, I don't want to sing, I can't sing. No, just try it, it'll be fine. So, after a bit of nervous start and stuff, we started singing for the band, and that's kind of how it started. We didn't think it was good enough, but he eventually did it, which is kind of glad that he did do it now.
Obviously, Harry's now left White Eskimo.
I'm just going to have a little break.
We hope he does as best as he possibly can, because that's what you like, best mates, you want to push each other to do the best they can. It's funny because he's never actually left the band if you think about it, because he's never said goodbye or never said I'm going to leave.
The videos of White Eskimo performing at weddings and in assembly and stuff were brilliant, and if it wasn't for White Eskimo, Harry probably wouldn't have auditioned for the X Factor because he hadn't had that singing experience and exposure, and he really kind of carved himself out as a frontman before he went in.
He didn't know he was auditioning for X Factor, and he came up to me and said, my mum's auditioned me for the X Factor and going on. I was like, oh right, that's going to be cool. And I went with him to the first ever, before you television and anything. We queued up at Old Trafford in Manchester at 6 in the morning. Me, him and his mum went, and we stayed there for hours. Absolutely, he was very nervous. I'd say he was very nervous, but very excited at the same time. And then he did all this stuff. He obviously got through it.
Is this for YouTube? Okay. Is this for YouTube?
Louis Tomlinson,
Oh, don't get me
the
in then.
member of the group, was born in Doncaster, South Yorkshire.
Oh, cool. Don't get me in yet.
Louis is the indie kid who wears the braces. He might put a scarf on and do something like that.
Take these off.
And probably the cheekiest one of the group. He's very camp, he's very flamboyant, he's always got a plan to make. He does make fun of the others a little bit at their expense for jokes. And he's probably the rudest and most sexually suggestive, I would say, out of the group as well.
Louis, the older one, and before he was in One Direction, his previous job was being a waiter, and his favourite film is Grease.
Louis was a joker as well. When
You sound like
Harry was...
Fancy Oliver.
No, I don't!
And then there's Zayn Malik, who's the Bradford bad boy, as we call him at Sugarscape. He's always looking in the mirror, always checking his hair, always making sure he looks sharp, which he always does anyway. And he's the pouter as well.
Zayn is the bad boy. He's always wearing the high top trainers.
Zayn has 7 tattoos. His hometown is Bradford.
He actually tried to audition for the X Factor the year before, but during the queuing process he just backed out and said to his mum that he couldn't do it.
I
I gave Zane a necklace when we went to Judge's house, as I had this sort of, not this, it was something similar to that.
I'm not going to hear the end.
No, but it's like a good story to tell. When they got through, I gave it to him to wear, and he wore it on the show as well. So
You get rid of it afterwards.
and then he gave it to a girl, like when he got big.
He especially didn't expect Zayn to get through because he had messed up the dance routine thing.
I don't think he wanted to dance. I think he's a bit conscious of it. But you don't want people to be like, oh no, someone's being a diva.
Hope you guys enjoyed. I am going to end this video now because my hands are really hurting. They're aching so bad. So hope you enjoyed this video. Please put a thumbs up.
Simon actually came off the stage and said no, he wanted to go and get him, and I think